My presentation is about librarians and their stereotypes. I've always wanted to be a librarian ever since I was little. I can't ever remember not wanting to be a librarian. I can't think of anything else I'd rather do because I love to read, and I wanted to be a librarian ever since my mom started taking me and my sister to the library when we were little. One of the misconceptions about librarians is that they're all about books and that people just come there to check out books. Libraries house books, but actually people don't just come to check out books. I work at a library now, and they come to check out our DVDs. We have a really good DVD collection. But librarians aren't about books, they're rather about information, which is libraries are changing. And since the invention of the internet, the transition of the share of information is going from books to digital. Yes, it's the invention of the internet. It's a newer way to share information. The internet is really like a huge, never-ending library, and it's a free place to access information just like the library is. And the only reason you would have to use the library is if you preferred books to digital information, or if you couldn't find something on the internet. We have computers at the library. They're free to use for the patrons. All you need is a library card. They're the gateways to the internet, and we offer classes for adults to learn how to use the internet to find information. This is a reference librarian, and they'll help you use books or the internet to find information. They're now being trained to use digital tools as much as using books, because it's really transitioning. It's really about half and half right now. One of the misconceptions about librarians is that they stand around shushing people all day, which is really not true, because I've never heard a librarian shush anyone. And we actually allow the use of cell phones in the library now, because it's a major part of people's lives. And the children's area downstairs is quite noisy. And usually, you should feel free to talk in a normal volume. Usually the people shushing their children are usually louder than the children. Another misconception is that all librarians do is shelve books, which is not true. That's what I do now. All you need to shelve books is you have to be 16 years old and have graduated from library. This is a misconception about librarians, the sexy librarian. This is a costume from Target, a Halloween costume. And I don't really know where this misconception came from, really. And all the research I've done, it's just popped up out of nowhere. And this is the opposite misconception about librarians, is the old lady with the cat eye glasses she's a spinster and she lives along with her cats. Most librarians are older people now, but the time is coming for them to retire, and there'll be a need for new librarians, which will be the younger librarians. This is a picture of some actual librarians from the early 1900s, and this could be where some of the misconceptions come from, the hairstyles and the bun. And the lady in the middle, I just think that's hilariously funny. She's just the expression on her face, and her hair is pulled back so tight. This is the lipstick librarian and the Hollywood librarian. This is actually a blog, and this is their logo. And this stereotype came from, there were a lot of movies in the 50s and 60s featuring librarians. She has the 60s hairstyle. This is one of the first movies featuring a librarian. It's Woody Allen's What's New Pussycat. It was his debut movie. And the lady there, she's like a combination of stereotypes. She's young and pretty by 1960s standards, but then she has on the kind of frumpy librarian clothes. This is Ruth Neal. She's just wrote this recent book called You Don't Look Like a Librarian, and it's talking about librarian stereotypes. and trying to fight those. I don't know if you can see the picture on the cover. It's a young girl with her hair pulled back in a tight bun. She's got like a sweater, and the girl in the mirror has like crazy hair and looks kind of rebellious. A lot of you probably didn't know that this is Batgirl, and she was a librarian. So she's a librarian by day, and she's got the meek kind of secretary 1960s look there. And then by night she turns into Batgirl and kicks ass. This is Giles from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He is Buffy's watcher. He's one of the most popular librarian figures in pop culture. And he fights vampires alongside Buffy. So even though he fits into the male stereotype of librarians, he's a tough guy. And this is an action figure of a librarian from Seattle. She's a famous librarian, and she comes with her own bookshelves and computer, and if you push a button on her back, her arm comes up in like a shush motion. And it's just a ridiculous thing that reinforces librarian stereotypes and seems to never go away. This is an ad from the Sony Reader, and it really suggests that librarians will no longer be needed in the future. And even the slogan there is a derogatory slogan that librarians won't be needed in the future, but if that does happen, it won't be in our generation, it'll be later. This is a band called Blood Hag. Their song titles are all famous literature authors, and they play shows at libraries, and they throw used books into their mosh pits. And there's a genre called educore, and they kind of just promote reading among their fans. And this is a manga that later turned into an anime. It's called Read or Die, and it's about a young lady named Yomiko Reedman, and she's a secret agent for the British Library, and her codename is the Paper, and she can control paper. And it's just something from pop culture that's helped to combat the old stereotypes of librarians.